Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to sit with you guys and talk about all things budgeting for the Homeschool 2021-2022 school year. If you'd like to hear more, let's get started. Hey are you new for the first time and you just hit that play button? Welcome to the channel. I'm Tasha. This is Tasha Pivots, where we talk about all things mamahood and homeschool and how I'm pivoting through this journey. And after doing my video where I shared on tips of preparing and prepping for your homeschool for the next year, you can check that video out right here. A lot of you commented of, yes, show me your ideas, your plans on how you budget for the upcoming year. And so here I am ready to answer and share with you guys as best as I can. First, I want to say everyone's budget and the way you go about it may be completely different than mine. Mine is not some perfect system. It's just the system that has been working for us. We are going into our third homeschooling year, which is really exciting. My oldest is going to be going into third grade, and my youngest is going to be entering a very soft, gentle way into preschool, as she is about to be, I would be about 3.5 years old by the time we get started in the summer. And we do year-round school. And so with the list and prepping and planning and organizing and everything I kind of shared with you guys in my last video on this topic, when it comes to budgeting, it's like that process helps me get to this point. And right around this time in March, I like to set aside a certain portion of money towards curriculum, supplies, and also preparing how our sinking funds will look like for year-round, because we do school year-round. And so with that, I usually either take our income tax and I'll take a significant portion from there, or I've already been putting money aside throughout the year to prepare for this time of March 2021 to go ahead and purchase. So with that, I'm going to switch over to my screen so that you guys can actually see how I'm computing and adding in numbers, and that way you can even see how you could do this yourself. All right, guys, as you can see, I have my Homeschool 2021-2022 budget Google Docs sheet up. This has just been very easy and seamless for me to be able to use, to be able to add all my information, put my numbers in, and just have a one-stop hub that I can check. So I wanted to go through with it with you, and I have all of my numbers on here. These are real numbers. These aren't numbers that I'm just making up. There might be some that I'm rounding up, but all of them are pretty active in what I am planning to do. This has been the easiest for me. It's not anything new under the sun, but I just feel like I like to first write them all down. So of course, like I shared with you guys earlier, like with my video, with organizing and preparing and mapping out everything for the year, this is how I'm showing you how I'm actually creating that and now putting it all together to now figure out, okay, what am I spending and how am I spending it? So at the top row here, you're going to see homeschool essential items, the location, the amount, this ballpark figure here, and then purchased. This ballpark number here, I actually like to start with just a baseline number of what I think we will be using. And so this is maybe too high for some of you, or maybe too low. I have 2 children that I homeschool, and so we do cover a plethora of subjects, and I want to make sure that I have designated a certain amount of funds so that I don't have to be stressed out about needing or preparing or planning. Now, will we use the entire $1,000 for this section? No. This is just, like I said, a start figure that I can use and then go back in. And as I update and once everything is purchased for this first half of it, then that number will come and pass down into the year-round sinking funds. So I'll talk more about that in a bit, but let's start where we're at. So you'll see I have a column here. A column is all about the homeschool essential items. I have listed here basically everything that we're going to need to start the new school year. I even include my homeschool planner, because honestly, if I wasn't homeschooling, I would not have one. But it is something I purchased. It's something that I set a certain amount towards. And so it's very important to me that I get the one that I want, which I really like, the advanced Paper Co. one. It's custom. I've customized it and everything. And so I will list it here as one of the top things that I automatically purchase. Now, during this time frame, I like to purchase a lot of my bulk curriculum and everything that I possibly can in the month of March and April. And so this is how we do that. So the amount of the actual item, this is here, this column C is everything is going to say the actual amount that when you go onto the site or you're ordering and it says, oh, it's $65.99. That's the amount, but this is actually in the column where the 1,000 is the amount I actually spend with shipping and whatever details that are included in that. I'm going to add here, as you can see, it says planner, but I'm also going to say planner accessories because I did add some extra things to that. And so it was $75. And then the total actual amount, because I actually purchased this, it was $85.06. So I put the exact amount and then I've already have it clicked for purchased. Again, this also helps me with that column for the purchase section, allows me to remember, okay, I already ordered this. I don't need to worry about it. It's covered. And I will, again, put the actual amounts of the things I do know in the amount column, and then the amount that I end up spending with shipping and everything included will go under the $1,000 mark. So let's go back to the homeschool essential items. Like I said, it has everything listed here. Now there's some things that I've had to add into this that wasn't here last year, and that's simply because Josephine wasn't doing any particular schooling. She was only 2, and so we were just letting her play and maybe giving her a few blocks or things to do throughout the time. But now that she's going to be entering into a very gentle preschool, we have things listed for her as well. And so as you can see, I have under homeschool planner, I have literature and I have some question marks. And that's because I'm still in the process of deciding what we're going to do for that next year. We did a year in 100 Acre Woods. We're doing that currently, and we did a year of Tales. And so we have completed pretty much that whole section of a year of learning until they maybe come out with something else. But that's done. And then language arts, we are going to be moving with our master books, language lessons for a living education. As you can see, it's $33.29 is the listed price currently because it's on sale, and that's what I researched. I haven't put an amount here because I have not purchased it yet, but it will get added, okay? Then or sometimes what I'll do is I'll do roundup numbers. So you can see like this one says $30. I'm expecting it's going to cost me about $5 for shipping, but that's depends on what it is. It might be more than that, but that's not even, or printing costs I have to add in as well. So here we are with all of the lists. So there's science. We have 2 science options here. We have math. I have essential supplies. Now, there's one thing to buy supplies for the beginning of the school year, whether that's pencils, crowns, all the things that we typically need to, do the functioning handcrafts and exercises with our curriculum. But what I really like to do is also include like any notebooks and things that I need. I'll even put any printing costs, like printing ink, because some things are digital and PDFs and I'll print them. So printing ink, I guess laminating is also a cost for me. I'm still on the fence on whether I'm going to include a laminator in my house, or even binding cost. All of that's going to get listed there. I usually like to cap that at $150. And if I need to add more, then this number will change. And then you'll see I have some preschool options. Now I want to preface this and actually let you know, as you can see, it says pre-sale promo, and then it says $0. Now, yes, I purchased the Year in 100 Acre Woods curriculum back in the fall when they first were announcing it. I did the pre-sale in October, and as a gift from Lisa and her team, because there was such an extended amount of wait of time for them to release the curriculum, anyone who pre-sold were given the preschool curriculum for free. So I will not have to be purchasing that, which is a blessing. But I did do preschool handwriting for JoJo, so she can just start practicing her writing. And that's the good and the beautiful. I've already ordered this. And that cost is actually already in the handwriting section over here. But I also wanted to make a note. So you see this amount, $25.98 and $33.01 was the final, and it was already purchased. That was only for the good and the beautiful's handwriting. But this the writing with ease was not. So in order for me, because that number is going to end up shifting a bit, I'm just, no, we don't want to do that. We want to just highlight this part so that it can remind me that, hello, you still need to purchase that. So there we go. So there's that. Now, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. You guys have notes or questions, you know what to do. Write them in the comments below. I'll answer them as best I can. When you come down to sinking funds is pretty much something that is happening year round. I like this because it allows me to have a little bit of petty cash, if you will, to use throughout the year when I need to purchase something, or if there's a book that we really, really have been waiting to get, but I didn't purchase it in the beginning of the year. Like especially our read alouds, our supplemental reading, Zoe's chapter book collections that she's, those series that she gets into. So what I do is I have all the months listed here. I have year-round sinking funds. You'll see this number here that I have that it says $600. And then this will say if it has been purchased, I guess, or you know what, we're going to put completed. So there's that. And I'll check it off if I've done it. So I have July 2021, beginning of school year supplies, especially when there's sales because it's back to school. Anything that I feel like, okay, we're ran out of, like if our markers have dried out because we've had them all year round and it's time to update those. Any, like if we need rulers or protractors, if that's how you say it, I can't even remember, but yes, protractors or anything like that, we will go ahead and I cap that at the first of the year to have 100. Now I have little part-time jobs and little things that I do to create streams of income because I fully fund the homeschooling section of our home as my husband does everything on the other end for us in our, livable things. So I have here where every bi-weekly, I like to put $25 into the sinking fund for this. So it's about $50 a month. And sometimes it'll get carried over. If it's not, if we don't buy anything in the month of August, then that amount will get pushed into September, which is really cool. Or it'll get pushed into us saying, okay, in October, we have something happening. So as you can see, I have a couple of things listed here. This is ZMB birthday museum trip. So we've started a tradition that on our birthdays, we will go into a museum of any kind, whether we travel far to go visit one or we do the ones that are in our neighborhood. We did that last year and we really enjoyed it and had so much fun. And so I have that here and say that I'm going to put $50 to $75 there. That's going to throw that off a bit, but it's okay. We're just going to stick that there for now because it'll end up changing. But that's what I do. Anything that we could need, if I say, okay, books, this is something I'll add in, like, okay, we need to go pick up books. I need to do this and I have $50 here. And so every time that I've gone and put the money there, that's where these sinking funds will go. These numbers will not be so finite where they're like just flat amounts. It's maybe 45, 89 is all I spent from that. I have a separate account that those percentages, that money goes into. And then, like I said, when there's anything that we want to do, if we, like the Girl Scouts are doing some sort of project and we get to go and participate and we need to have money towards that, I'm not pulling that from my personal income. This is all designated for homeschool. So there's that. Or even like we're going to plan on going to the aquarium. So we add those types of details in there. And then you'll go down and you'll see I have extracurricular activities. Now, I still put this all in our homeschool budget because it is something that is very important in our household. And so our daughters are in some activities since they are homeschooled. This allows socialization. This allows them to grow into the gifts and things that they enjoy. So you'll see I have summer piano because we do piano year round as well. Her instructor is amazing. And so she has summer piano and Josephine has ballet and tap. And, just to kind of give a ballpark of rounding those two numbers up, it's about 185 that will go there. And so as you can see, I didn't add anything here because this can change. We might add some things in here. For instance, if Zoe wants to do dance starting in the fall, then there's enrollment fees and there's all these different things. So these numbers will shift. I will be honest with you. It looks like we overall spend I would say about $3,500 total in a full year. This includes our activities, that includes our sinking fund, that includes all of our homeschool curriculums and everything. Now, that number might seem outrageous and to you. For us, it is just, I like to be big picture and be realistic. My kids are in things and we will pull back if we have to, but overall, this is what's been working currently. And it allows us to have fun and enjoy our homeschool without the stress of having to spend money or pull money from other places in order to do things. Like I said, here in the curriculums, I again do $1,000 as a ballpark, and that is going to cover all the ordering, all the books, all the resources that are included with that curriculum. And that's why I said these numbers will change and I will add details to that. For instance, give you a proven example where it says science part 1, it says simple studies, unit study, book, and coloring. All of that cost is included because it's only $14 for the curriculum, but then the book is a certain percentage, as well as the coloring. I actually can say that this is just a coloring book print cost because, I like to be, realistic. It makes things more simple for me to understand. But yeah, so this is what my budget looks like, guys. I hope that has been helpful for you to see your stuff mapped out into sections. And maybe you have other things, like if your kids are in sports and what those costs may look like, or if there's other things, like we even sometimes put a section here that I see I need to add one more row. Let's see if I can do that. Insert above, is art, because I do teach art with friends. And we usually have, if there's a certain book that we're studying or certain resources, I will go ahead and add that in as well. So every subject gets listed, as well as what we will spend on activities and field trips that we may take. So if we take a Dallas trip, and if we're members already, now that's another thing as well. So I've been talking with my husband about maybe becoming members of certain museums, because you can do where you pay for the membership and then you get to go free on certain days. And so then you have that, you pay this upfront cost that now the full year your family can enjoy that. And I think those are really fundamental, because we do a lot of nature studies and things like that. So that is something that may come into play, where when we see this number finally finish out with the curriculums, whatever the amount that we have left over, we might put that towards that as well. All right, so let's go back and I'm going to chat with you guys for a little bit more, but I hope this was as helpful as possible. All right, guys, I hope that this really helped you understand and navigate my process. It's very simple, I feel like. I'm sure it'll become more, detailed and evolve over the years as my kids continue to grow and we continue to expand them into other subjects and just the things that they might need. But I hope that this kind of helped you if you're new to homeschool and you needed something to really start a baseline with, of like, okay, what things do I need? What subjects am I needing to cover? What supplies are outside of what we already have do I need to have to start the new school year? From supplemental reading to all those things that we talked about today. I thank you for being here. If you like this video, give it a warm thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions or thoughts, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to engage with you there. And until next time, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.